right, Concert Journal number 8, March 6, 2023, the Rise of the Machine tour with Static X, Fear Factory, Dope, Twiztid, and Cultus Black. We saw them at the House of Blues in Cleveland, Ohio, which is sort of a small venue on the east side of Cleveland.
Yeah, so it's like 2 stories. It has a balcony, which isn't so much a true balcony, but a flat floor with a hole cut in it so you can kind of see the stage. It was packed.
Yeah, sold out.
Yeah, I'd been there the year before to see Sepultura, and it turns out that wasn't packed, so that was a lot more comfortable. You could easily walk around. Where this was just wall-to-wall people, which was slightly uncomfortable. It was just not, it wasn't the most entertaining way to watch a band, but it was still a good show. So the bands that we saw was the opener, which was Cultus Black, right? So what did we know about Cultus Black going into this?
So before we went, we looked at their, we sort of looked them up, and we found out that they're a metal band of some sort from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah.
But the thing that we really found interesting was their description on their Bandcamp.
Yeah, so hold on, we'll just read it here just to make sure we get it right. But this is what they wrote about themselves. So, Cultus Black is an aggressive, hard-hitting music project that identifies itself as a cult. So that first sentence alone, we're like, oh, really? Like, come on, man. Like, we're not looking for a weird backstory, whatever. Anyway, their music is unapologetic and intense, yet is often marked with mesmerizing melodies that could draw in even the most cynical listener. So after that first sentence, we were pretty cynical. The second sentence identifies us. So, and Cultus Black is identified by their strange appearance, which means that they're a band that wears a mask like other bands that wear masks, Mushroom Head and Slipknot, whatever. So before we see any band, we try to do our research and learn what we can about them. And, so you go to their socials, and I got to say, a lot of bands do not do a good job of explaining who they are. Like, it's one thing if you're a Metallica or Iron Maiden or, high-level, well-known band, but when you're trying to break in, you need to give me a description of what your style of music is. And to have a band like this only focus on what they look like or that they have a cult, I get it's in your name, was not a good start. So, yes, we were definitely part of these cynics that they mentioned. So, with that being said, how did their performance go?
They're actually really good. We actually really liked them.
We were fans pretty quick on this as they launched into their songs. We hadn't listened, at least I hadn't listened to any of their songs, and we're like, wow, this is great. They were really engaging. The lead singer did a great job of selling the band, right? So he was yelling out the band name. He got us singing along with some of the lyrics, and he was familiarizing ourselves with a chorus or something like that. So which is for a lesson in how to be an opening band, they were definitely a good example of that. So we're like, wow, this is good. So there you go, just as their description. The most cynical people, that was us, and we turned into a fan with that. So they did their performance. And what did the lead singer talk about at the end of his performance?
Yes, at the end when they were finished, he was like, hey, we're going to be out by the merch so you guys can meet us. And we're like, well, can't miss that. We got to go do that. So we went out there to get our merch, and they were there. The singer and some other member, which we don't know, because they all wore the same sort of like mask with like holes for their eyes.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a hood over whatever. Yeah. So it was kind of like, I call him like the hype man. He just ran around yelling, maybe singing a little bit. But anyway, so we met them. They were very nice. To kind of leap ahead to the merch, it helps sell merch because you meet these people, you enjoy the performance, you want to kind of support the band. So we got a little bit of stuff from them. Anyway, so it started off on a real high.
Yeah. And so with our biggest high of the night, we had our lowest low with Twiztid, which is a hip-hop duo from Michigan.
Specifically Livonia, Michigan, where Mom's from. So this is her hometown.
And we didn't like them. They were not for us.
No, it wasn't a good mix. So originally, I guess Mushroom Head was a part of other dates, and this particular one, because we're in Cleveland, and Mushroom Head's a Cleveland band. From what I gather, true or not, that they won't perform as a supporting act. They'll only be headlining in their hometown, which, I can appreciate that. Anyway, so they were off the bill. So it sounds like the filler was Twiztid and it's just not the style of music for us. So maybe they're great in their own right, but they didn't have a lot of fans. They're like, I mean, there was this little crowd enthusiasm for their performance, so they came and went. And then following that
was Dope, which they're a new metal band from New York.
yeah.
And yeah, they're pretty good. Edsel Dope was great.
Yeah.
The whole band was great.
Yeah, so you can tell that he's a veteran of performing because he was really good crowd interaction. I mean, he wasn't talking a lot, but when he did, it felt, engaging with the crowd. And obviously, they have a good, catalog of songs everybody likes. But again, I mean, crowd interaction can really make or break it. So that was a great performance. After Dope, then, so Fear Factory came out, which blew up on the scene when they were part of one of the Mortal Kombat soundtracks from the 90s. And that's where I had first learned about them, and I got their album, which was...
Demanufactured.
Yeah, Demanufactured on it. So I was familiar with them, wasn't familiar with their other stuff, but one thing that we kind of feel that this band suffers from what we want to call LOB, L-O-B, lacking original band members. So it's down just the guitarist. They brought on a new singer who sounds a lot like the old singer.
Yeah, the singer actually left, I'm pretty sure, right before this tour, I think.
Yeah.
The singer is I don't even think he'd been in for a year yet.
Yeah. So then at what point, it's that question of when does a band become a cover band? And, it's like Pantera. They're doing their tribute show. As long as you perform the original material, I don't know, whatever. But so it wasn't the worst performance. It was fine, I guess. It didn't blow me away with that stuff. But, I guess all things considered, with a new lead singer, he was able to pull off the performance. Anyway, so then the final band.
Static X, which, they were the headliner. I'm pretty sure this is actually their first tour without...
Wayne Static?
Yeah, without Wayne Static. Because he'd actually died a few years before this tour, I think. And so they had the new singer, which they call Zero, spelled with an X, which is, I'm pretty sure he's Edsel Dope, but he wears a mask so you can't see who he is that has glowing eyes and stuff.
Yeah, it's a neat stage presence. He looks like Wayne Static with the hair and then, the glowing eyes, and it's a great performance. And yeah, from... Others have pieced together on the internet that he's the lead singer from Dope. So I think going forward, anytime you see one band, you're going to see the other on the same bill, which is true because we're going to see them again in a month. They're touring together. So, yeah, so Static X, boy, they were a great show. The visuals, they had a lot of, these screens behind them that had all these great visuals, and obviously the performance by the band was great. So Mushroom Head, turns out that at least two of the band members were at the performance. So now I can't remember, was it Fear Factory, Static X, or both bands?
Yeah, I think it was one of them. I don't...
Yeah, so they came out, these two guys, and granted, I don't know the names of the Mushroom Head people introduced, hey, Steve is here, and he's going to, everyone went nuts, I don't know who that Steve is, but we kind of pieced together that it was Mushroom Head. So that was kind of neat that they still participated a little bit in that. Would have rather seen the band itself perform, but maybe next time. So rating the band. So starting with Cultus Black.
Green, they were great. I really liked them.
Yeah. Yes, a solid green. We went from being a solid red in our preview of them, and then we turned around. We loved it. That was great. And then we went into Twiztid.
Red, we were not a fan of them.
Yeah, so maybe a great artist of their rap rock genre, but it wasn't for us, so that was a red. I definitely wouldn't want to see them again. And then after that was Dope.
Green, they were fun. Gonna see them again. Hope they'll be just as good as this time we saw them.
Yeah, great performance. It was really high energy. It was a good time. And then Fear Factory.
I'd give them a yellow. They were good, but I like Fear Factory, but I'm not the biggest fan. And the lack of original band members, I think, kind of hurts it a bit.
Yeah, so it's a yellow for me too. I guess I didn't have any expectations going in. I just wanted to hear their older catalog, none of their new stuff. It was fine, but if they were headlining, I'd definitely would probably skip them. And then finally, Static X.
Green, they were fun. They're great. Gonna see them again, and It'll be great.
Yeah, I think they were definitely fun. Again, it's the performance. Now, that's the thing with Zero. I don't really remember him like talking
Yeah, I don't
much.
think he really
So that crowd interaction, which helps like sell it to an audience or kind of make the performance better, like that was lacking, but it didn't seem to deter from it. So we'll have to pay closer attention when we see them next on exactly how they do with that. So we did our merch purchases when we were outside meeting Cultus Black. And what did we end up getting from the Cultus Black people?
So we got quite a bit from Cultus Black. We each got a shirt.
Right. So we got the same. No, we got different shirts with it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So we each got a shirt from them.
Then I got a patch from Cultus Black.
Okay. So that's the one regret is that, I mean, the band, at least 2 band members were there, that we didn't have their album. And then after seeing them, I really wanted to get the album, ended up later buying it through Bandcamp. But I should have just bought the physical copy and then had them sign it. Like they were
Yeah.
literally right there. And so one regret, you know, they still got my money. We could have walked with a little bit of a memento from that. But anyway, so we got that. And then there's quite a big display for the other main band, Static X, Fear Factory, and Dope. And what did we get from them?
So I got a Dope shirt and a Dope patch.
Yeah, and then I had a Static X Rise of Machine tour shirt with it. They also offered a poster, which I can't remember the price. I think it was reasonably priced, wasn't expensive. And the catch with it was it was unique to that show. So basically, it was the same poster, and they would just change the word to the whatever city you were in. They didn't have it on hand. You would buy it via a QR code they had on display, and then they would mail it to you, which honestly is awesome. Like I wish everybody did that. Like I would love to get a little poster from some of these shows, but I don't want to carry it around all night.
Yeah.
That'd be horrible. So they did that. Unfortunately, they didn't have one on display, and so we didn't really see what they had. But anyway, the guy was nice enough about it. So nice thing to see, but we ended up not getting it. And then one notable thing was the Twiztid merch.
Yeah. So Twiztid had its own merch booth, sort of like in the corner, and they had a ton of shirts. They had a ton of stickers. I think they even had patches. They had like their whole discography on CD.
Funko Pops.
Yeah, they had Funko
Who
Pops.
knew
of the
this band was in Funko Pop
band
form?
members.
Yeah.
But the sad thing was that nobody went up there.
Yeah. So I got a picture of it, and it's this guy. I mean, to no fault of his own, but maybe they just didn't have the fan base for it. But he's there just surfing his phone on it. But they had probably up there with the best merch we've ever seen available. Like every price point, that's what you want. I mean, actually the other stuff at that same show was pretty good, but actually Twiztid was the best one. They had everything that you could find there. So sadly it wasn't for us, but very, very well done on their part. So we also do a shirt, you know, look at the first 100 shirts and the top shirts that we see at a concert. This was before we started keeping track. We did it, so we don't have that bit of his information from this one. But the first for this concert was the venue.
Yes. First time this venue. First time we've seen all the bands.
Yep.
And this is also the first coat check, but we didn't know about the coat check until after the show.
Yeah. I was looking at my picture of this Twiztid merch booth, or the table, and then also there's a little sign, which maybe I'll put the picture up there, that says coat check. And so this was in March. It was cold. We were well overdressed for being in the show, and it was hot.
Yeah.
With all those people packed, and I'm like, man, if I could have ditched this jacket. And it turns out we could have. So
yeah, and I may have been a little too overdressed considering I almost passed out at the show.
Yeah, we did our best to keep hydrated, right? So between at least one of the bands, we ended up getting some stuff to drink, but even that was too much. And it was 5 bands, which was a lot. But you faded. We actually had to bail during the Static X encore just to get you outside into some cool air and all that. So we dodged that bullet, and I had to carry you to the car. So. It was actually also the first time meeting a band, right?
Yeah.
Like, wow, we met the band and they came out. So we've had other bands since then that we've had an opportunity to, but this was the first. Cultus Black was the first time we met an artist and were able to talk to them in person and really give them our support for the show they did. So that was a nice treat. So overall reviews. So starting with the venue.
Yellow. Maybe it'd be better for a show that wasn't sold out.
Yeah.
But if it's a sold out show, especially if there's like more than like 3 bands, that's a lot. And it was okay.
Yeah. It's a solid yellow because even without the crowds, like the balcony doesn't really provide more seating. It just provides a railing that certain people can see down. The seating is very limited, almost non-existent. There was like basically some bar stools upstairs that they sold at a premium, which again aren't really worth it. And it's if it was not packed, but then why do you want to go to a show that's not packed? Mm-hmm. So anyway, so it's a yellow. The merch,
green. It was really good. They had a bunch of shirts, patches. I think they even had a couple pins. It was great. There was something for every band, and it was great.
Yeah, it was really nice. Good price point to do all that stuff. So that was a real thrill. Again, you want to go, like, I don't want to walk out of here spending a ton. And so we were able to get, we have a good value for our money and support the bands. And then finally, the overall concert band lineup.
Green. It was fun, and we're going to do it again soon, just with a couple different bands.
Yeah. I would say it's a green, but barely, because it was too many bands. I mean, 5 bands. This was on a Tuesday, Wednesday night, whatever. You have work and school the next day. Maybe not ideal, but it's too much.
Yeah.
3, maybe 4, 5. I mean, it was a long day that we were sitting in there. So green because the performances, yellow, the overall package deal was a bit too much. So, so there you go. So that was the Rise of the Machine tour in Cleveland, and we met a band. Yeah. All right, thanks for watching.